YouTube is full of videos about good knives. It's full of videos about bad knives. It's high time that someone makes a video about weird knives. This is 3 Weird Knives, and I'm your host, JJJinks!
Let's get weird.
Man, this thing is, well, it's perfect. Welcome back. Another one of these, eh? Let's get started. We're going to start the video with a piece from the Schmidt collection with a logo that looks a little bit familiar. Yeah, it kind of looks like the MTech logo, but it's got similarities, to be sure. The M's are leaning in the same direction, but it's not exactly the same. But it's definitely what I thought of when I saw this. I thought, oh, is that MTech? Nope, it's Schmidt. You know what they say, it's all about the Benjamins, right? Or in the case of the knife world, it's all about the Benjamin. Yes, this is a knife that is called the Benjamin because the open assisted tanto blade is covered in $100 bills, featuring the portrait of Benjamin Franklin. This is a weird knife indeed. It's one of those knives where you kind of scratch your head and you think, oh, wait, why does this exist? One of the weirder things about this knife is that the pattern on the tanto blade is exactly reversed on the other side. So instead of $100 bills, you get $001 bills. And in that case, it's all about the... And if I played that backwards, it should sound as weird as it did. So, it is an assisted open liner lock knife. I actually kind of like this sort of trapezoidal shape to it with this kind of rustic looking, not really rustic, more industrial looking sort of fake riveted look to it. I like the colors. It's sort of like a light brown or almost a yellow against black. Sort of like the Pittsburgh Steelers. And on the other side, you have some information that is completely covered up by this deep ride tip down pocket clip. It says MS12 3CR13 steel, crafted in China. Now, that MS12, there it is. That's the model number. Oh, and you got a US dollar sign as well. So going back to that model number, we can see on the box there were these other variants of this very same knife. The MS6, which has that kind of aggressive-looking, toothy look that you'd see on the side of, like, World War I airplanes, I think, or bombs or something. Then you get this one that looks like sort of a galaxy. And on the other side, you've got MS from left to right, 12, 11, and 8. Number 12 is the Benjamin. Number 11 is your standard yellow with red blood splatter, zombie knife kind of deal. MS8 is a jingoistic knife with black and white American flag motifs going on. I was immediately curious, what are the other MSs? Is there an MS1? Is there an MS13? I did find that there was an MS, I think a 9, which was basically the American flag one, but in color. But I couldn't find no information about these other mysterious MS model numbers from the Schmidt collection. So I'm very interested in what those might be, if they exist. What's the story there? I don't know. A couple things about this knife that I do like are... because it's heavy and very flat, you can actually lay it down on its pocket clip and it kind of levitates a little bit. See how it's casting that shadow? Yeah, it's just kind of neat that way. Yeah, I just like the boxy look to it. It's got an aggressive flipper tab. The hand feel is pretty bad though. You got this little groove right here for your thumb. I guess that's nice, but if you hold it so that your fingers are under the flipper tab, they kind of jam into this jagged liner, and it's not comfortable because then it thins out here, and it's sort of reminiscent of the Microtech Ludit. So I kind of wonder if that might be uncomfortable in my hand as well. I don't know, because I don't have enough Benjamins to get one. They're like $250, and they're not. I don't. Whatever. It's Microtech. You ever insult someone by saying, "Go eat a bag of dicks"? Well, now I've got one. Oh, this one's poking out a little bit. Easy, fella. You'll have your turn. Yes, these are 6 sexy knives. Idea for a new segment? Exotic fun for all. 6 sexy knives. This is for adults only. Yes. They are plastic butter knives with phalluses on them. What kind of immoral ingrate would want a bunch of flesh-colored dick knives? I mean, the depravity. I mean, really, what kind of sick fuck would own such things? Dicks for knives? Come on. Let's have a closer look. I'm not really sure what these would be used for. Like, seriously, maybe a bachelorette party? You'd use a butter knife, a plastic butter knife, I don't know, at a picnic to butter up your corn, butter up your dinner roll. There are a series of what appear to be wrinkles and possibly veins molded directly into the shaft of the knife. And the hilt head is kind of a nondescript, vaguely mushroom-shaped looking, it's the head of a penis. I mean, that's what I'm trying to describe. Not intended for use in play by children under 14? Now, is that for, like, butter knives in general, or this particular butter knife? So is this, tip up or tip down carry? And for the third piece, we have something from Tech Force. Tactical Rescue Outdoor. I really like some of what Tech Force makes. They make weird shit. And this is no exception. Check this out. Model number TF857. And what we have is one of the coolest looking knife handles I have ever laid my eyes upon. We have a skeletal... We have some skeletal remains in various degrees of... What we have are some skeletal remains that are in various degrees of... fuck. What we have are decomposing skeletal remains that have been repurposed for this knife handle. Have a look at the skull. It's almost pretty much anatomically correct. You can see the fusion lines. There's some gross-looking connective tissue in the open mouth that leads down to the spine and the rib cage, which you can see in between the ribs. And it ends in a mishmash of sinew and guts. The blade is a bit of a recurved sickle shape, and the spine of the blade is literally a spine, and it's got a spike on the end, kind of like an alien's tail designed by H.R. Giger. Yeah, I mean, imagine making a knife like this out of actual remains of your enemies. How fucking badass would that be? And on the other side, we have a deep ride, tip-down only pocket clip bolted into the side of its skull. No wonder it's screaming. A little bit of skeletonization in the pocket clip there, and I suppose you can count the rib cage as skeletonization, but even so, it is a hefty thing. And I love the color motif, that dark gray on darker gray. Oh, this thing is very sinister looking. I really liked it. When I first laid my eyes on it, I was like, you know what? I try to steer away from that Mall Ninja kind of stuff. Otherwise, I'd have 100 episodes of this and it would all be kind of the same thing. You know, look at the dragon, look at the skeleton. It's cringy. But this knife is just fucking awesome. And that concludes this episode of 3 Weird Knives with JJJinks. I'll see you next time.